Hey, come here.
Well, hello, and welcome on this very festive St. Patrick's Day. I hope you like that I put a little bit of green on for everybody. We're not doing a St. Patrick's Day card because I don't have any St. Patrick's Day stuff, but we are going to have some fun tonight. In fact, I am so excited that you're here. In the comments, tell me where you're watching from. I have learned that sometimes people turn their YouTube on their phone and put it on the seat next to them while they're driving so they can listen in. So if that's you, safe travels tonight. I love that you are tuning in to this opportunity to craft together today. I'm Sherry, and if this is the first time we're meeting, welcome to my craft studio. I like to do wonderful things in the community in terms of building, collaborating, and all that kind of great stuff. Ms. Tyra, hello, and welcome to you, my friend. I thought that, you know what, this year, as I've been doing my live streams, one of the things that is really important to me is setting some intentions. And if you saw the thumbnail and the topic and description for today, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about card swaps or card exchanges and card sharing. And I'm excited to tell you all about the product that I've created, but also about the more traditional ones that I'm taking part in one this season. So we're going to work on those cards tonight. But of course, if you know, one of the things I like to do is set an intention. And here is a very happy cartoon character that I had some AI help me draw up. She's very happy. I'm not sure if she's supposed to look like me, but she's very happy. And she is getting some mail, which is one of the themes of tonight. Happy mail. I'm taking my little candle here. I'm going to light this as I set some intention for this evening. And when I do this, really all I'm thinking about is what is it that we can do together that's going to give you the permission to create? Because creating is a really important part of our, let's call it self-care routine. You know that exercising and dieting and sleeping well and being hydrated, those are all really important for our well-being. Well, so is creativity. So I'm setting that intention. I'm going to set my candle aside, put it over here, because open flames and what do we call this? Open flames and crafting do not go together. So it's behind me. It's over there. It's got our intentions going for it. I hope it's going to be a wonderful evening for us all. Lori, thank you for being here. Eric, are you on the bike? Because that's cool too. We know that you love to exercise while I craft, which I think I should get some calories burnt for that as well too. Let's say hi to Fred this evening. He's sitting in the dark because the sun, which is a wonderful thing, is blaring into the windows in the room that he's in across from me. And he couldn't see a thing and couldn't keep his eyes open. So we let him close the curtains and now it's dark. So I won't show you him tonight, but he's saying hello. Are those roses behind you? Claude, those are from Lisa, Designs by Lisa, good friend of mine. You know, she designs all kinds of wonderful things. I think these ones are actually called, I'm trying to think now. It's not a rose, but it's close to it. And they're nice and peachy and beautiful. I think I need to move them a little more onto camera here. Oh, there we go. There we go. A little more. There we go. Beautiful. Thank you for asking about that, Claude. I hope you guys are having a good day. Did anybody get up to St. Patrick's Day fun? I know that in the cities around us with the universities, they put maybe some extra, what do you call it? Extra police forces on this weekend, just in case things got out of hand. And in listening to the news, everything seemed to be well in hand. Just good festivities, which I love as much as I love sofas, Eric, like you. Okay, tonight, here is a little peek. Look at this. This is Mr. Rabbit. I am so in love with Mr. Rabbit. He is distinguished and beautiful. And I was invited to be part of a card swap. Now, Claude's here. Claude's the first one that taught me about cookie exchanges. So I'm going to tell you what I knew as, oh, wait, I just realized I've got this banner going and I want to say to everybody, woo, 250 subscribers to my YouTube channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's incredible. That is halfway to the first milestone that I need for the YouTube paid partner program. Many of you know that I'm on a journey to build out my little channel to spread the word on creativity and having permission to create as part of your vitality. And I am so excited to be getting that out there. So thank you. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for sharing any of my videos. Thank you for liking and subscribing and hitting all those buttons because they're very meaningful to the YouTube powers that be and to me. And I appreciate each and every one of you. So welcome tonight. I will turn that off and I will tell you again the thing that Claude taught me many, many, many years ago. So this is sort of the genesis of how I started thinking about card exchanges. But here's where it started. One day, Claude said to me, have you ever done a cookie exchange? And I mean, I like cookies. So this sounded like a good idea to me right from the start without knowing anything about it. And what Claude explained was a cookie exchange is done with a core group of people. And the idea behind this was that you would bake the same number of cookies in dozens for the people that are coming. You'd bring maybe another half dozen of them for the sampling of the evening. So it was a nice kind of festive get together evening or afternoon or whatever you were doing. You'd bring your recipe so people who enjoyed the cookies could know how to make it in their own homes. So it was kind of the general premise. And I think the first time Claude invited me into it, there were 10 people who were doing this. So that meant we made sort of the 9 dozen cookies for everybody else, half a dozen cookies for the party that we had that evening. And it was really, truly full of joy. So for years, oh, look, Lisa told us what it is. And Judy's here tonight. Okay, wait, Lisa, first I will show you the name of the flowers. There you go. Mixed with roses, Claude. You were right. And Judy, my friends, if you guys have not followed Judy on Instagram, Judy, if you will, put your Instagram handle in the chat because, my God, friends, this girl has got wonderful style. The way she sets a table, Judy, I cannot wait to see what you're going to do for your Easter table in your home. My gosh, they're beautiful. She can put a throw on a chair and it just looks stunning. So Judy, I would love for everybody to follow you as well. But friends, as I was saying, back to these cookie exchanges. So for years, Claude invited me to do these. And then because Claude at the time lived in Winnipeg and I was here in Ontario, it was something that I wanted to emulate with my friends. So I took Claude's rules and Claude's ideas and I went ahead and I made a cookie exchange of my own here with my friends, the same kind of idea. And I invited friends. Mine became a Christmas cookie exchange. And so year after year, we really enjoyed being able to look forward to this. And one of the key things about the exchanges that Claude taught me was these are not the Pillsbury Doughboy slice and bake cookies that you're making. Oh, no, 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 no. These are the creme de la creme, the cookies that you love the most, the ones that everybody asks you for the recipe for, your best and brightest of the whole thing. So it was kind of an opportunity to, I'm not going to say show off, but, showcase your great baking skills. And I'm one of those people that I have a couple recipes that turn out fabulously every time. So that's what I started to do. Well, now fast forward to other times and thinking of different things. I did a muffin exchange where I got together with a group of women who I knew always enjoyed muffins in the morning. And so we did half a dozen muffins and we traded those off so that your freezer had this nice selection. The idea was to kind of see what other people do and be able to come to a point where you also could kind of showcase what you were doing. So when I started paper crafting with the beautiful Sydney and Paulo cable and learning all the wonderful things we could do, I very quickly started sending cards out to my friends and family. And before you knew it, my beloved mom, who I haven't seen here tonight, but hi, Mom, if you're here, I know you always watch these, even if you don't get them at the live. I'm happy to have you always be my biggest fan, Mom. But what I noticed when I would visit is that her fridge was getting kind of full on the front of all the cards that I had sent her. And I mean, I don't know about you, but there's only so many friends that you can send 10 or 15 cards to. So when you find out that maybe you need some extra friends, you start thinking about who could I do some card crafting with. And at the time, COVID was going on. And so we didn't have stores that we go to workshops for. There weren't teachers doing things that you could go to their studios for. And so I started feeling kind of lonely, honestly. I was like, well, I'm going to make these cards, but who am I making them for? And I mean, I love Christmas, but there's only so many Christmas cards you can make all year long before you feel like you need to have a little break from Christmas. So I would do birthday cards for people, Christmas cards for people, but I really wanted to find a solution to meeting some other card crafters and getting inspired by them. Well, that's why I created the Creative Card Share. And one of the really important things in the Creative Card Share was underpinning it or hosting it with an independent retailer. You see, I've spent more than 20, nearly 30 years as a salesperson. And as a salesperson, being a professional business developer, I know that it's important to be in community and to actually be in relationship with people. That was kind of the first pillar that I wanted to follow. I am a very big advocate of independent retailers. I truly believe they're an economic engine. And when we support them, we're doing beautiful things for our economy and for the local workforce that we have. Now, I am not about to tell you that Jeff Bezos doesn't send anything to my house. I've ordered from the big A as well, too, friends. But I'm telling you, when I can, if I can, I am supporting local retailers, independent retailers, and I feel that there are wonderful, wonderful ways that the card making and paper crafting community can support our local stores. So I approached the Paper Crafters Workshop. You guys know I'm such a huge fan of Sherry and Matt, who are the owners there in Stouffville. I can't wait to see them tomorrow um, when I go and visit. And so I approached them and said, listen, you have a community of people that already trust you. They buy from you online. We all learned how to do that during the pandemic. They come into the store, they do your classes. I think we should offer them a low cost entry opportunity to be part of a community, maybe give them a little bit of learning in it as well, but then give them an opportunity to be connected with other people. So this is where the all important spreadsheet and algorithm and my little bit of a geeky, nerdy brain here as a technology sales girl came to play. I built out some formulas so that in a spreadsheet, what I could do is take a bunch of people's names and pair them with each other. But there had to be some rules that we followed. So, for example, Lisa and I might craft together all the time. So, if I'm going to be part of a new community and try and meet new people, I don't want to be paired up with Lisa because we already swap cards back and forth. We already create with each other back and forth. So I needed to build in some rules that said, don't pair me with my sister or my friend that I already craft with. And now that we have done this a couple of times, we actually also wanted to make sure that there were some rules around being able to take somebody who is new to a card exchange and pair them with alumni from a previous card exchange so that they were meeting new people. Well, friends, it has been fabulously fun. We have had dozens and dozens of people who have joined in and been part of it. We're currently running one that is a birthday theme, and so many wonderful people are in it. We do on the Facebook page that's private to the group, we create these wonderful photo parades. It is so inspirational. More than when you go to a friend's and you're changing with the 10 people that you already know or that you do this with on an annual or regular basis, you're now meeting people that you've never seen, but you're also seeing 30 and 40 different types of cards and different types of artists coming together. So it has been a ton of fun to create this. And I'm telling you guys, we're getting bigger and better as we go. I'm just looking for this piece right here. So, Paper Crafters Workshop and I are working together. We're going to be announcing the opening of the next registration where we will be welcoming people into the next card share. We'll have a theme. We will have all kinds of great dates and learning. And what Sherry and I do that is fabulous in this is we do a kickoff. And in the kickoff, Sherry teaches a class with a card that I guarantee you're going to love. Oh my gosh. I watched Suzanne post her pictures of what she made just afterwards, and they were perfect. And then I get to do the wrap party, and I get to do a wonderful opportunity to do a teaching classes there as well. But we have these wonderful celebrations throughout. It is truly a community of joy. But that's not to say that there's no room in the world for the traditional card swap. In fact, you can imagine how excited I was when my friend Tammy, who's a new friend to me that I met at a store and a workshop, she invited me into a 14-person exchange that we're doing. Now, my new friend Janet is the host of it. And the way that that particular one works is the host picks the theme and gives you any rules. And then the host kind of throws the party that we go to for the afternoon. So today we're going to work on some cards. I've pre-made in TV Magic some components for us to be able to put this together. And as we put it together, I'm going to get you guys to help me co-design this because I'm always looking for your insights into what to do. And my job here is to take 14 cards with me. They're going to be the same. I have heard they don't have to be identical, but most people do the same card. And then I'm going to trade them with the other people that are there. I'm pretty sure that Janet is the type of host that's going to have some good snacks. So I'm going to have some good snacks while I'm there as well, too. I'm not going to lie. That's a driver for me. If there's a cupcake, I'm probably there. So I'm excited to be able to do that. But what I wanted to do was take the basic idea of what I'm doing for this card, have you guys help me tweak the final details and get ready to a point where I can get these ready to go and take to my card exchange with me too. So there's two different kinds of card exchanges, both very valuable in the industry. And friends, I want you to know that if nobody has given you permission yet, I will. I want you to have permission to create. So if you're crafting along with me tonight, that's fantastic. If you are watching and comfy in the couch, I hope this is a relaxing and wonderful evening for us all. Let me show you some of the fun things that we're going to do. First and foremost, this guy right here, and I'm going to change cameras in just a second. This is Mr. Rabbit. Mr. Rabbit comes to us from Tim Holtz. We're going to use Mr. Rabbit. I've got some embossing folders. I've got some fun little floral details we're going to look at, some different colors, some ink. We've got all kinds of great stuff to do. So let me change camera angles here for us as well. And I'm going to say in the chat, if I could actually find out if, let me think, what's a good question to start us off with on this St. Patrick's crafting evening together? I saw, Laura, that you had made wonderful corned beef and cabbage. That's very traditional. Are there any other St. Patrick's Day traditions or things that people do? One that I haven't done in recent years, but loved as I was growing up. My dad, who took the GO train back and forth from work each day, would stop at a McDonald's on the way home on St. Patrick's Day and get a huge, which might have only been this big at the time because I was little, shamrock shake. And he would bring it home and he would pour it out into 5 glasses. And there, as a family, we would have a green shamrock shake as our wonderful, wonderful St. Patrick's Day tradition. So, and I'm wearing green today because my dad always wore a green suit on St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so let's change some camera angles up here, friends. This will take me a minute to figure out where I'm getting from here. Freddie, you are in total darkness for certain. Okay, so let me do this and put me up here in the corner. And then Mr. Rabbit down here. So you can see I have my big shot with me because we're going to do some die cutting today. But I'm going to start by showing you Tim Holtz's. I've got my Misty with my stamp already done. So this Stampers Anonymous by Tim Holtz collection, I picked up last year. I did a card and a video that I will try to remember to link for us here for my friend Rachel with Mr. Rabbit for Easter last year. But part of what Janet, who is hosting the card swaps, wanted was that we would all remember to use what we already had. So one of the rules was no buying any new things to make your cards. Because let's face it, sometimes as a crafter, there's one hobby of doing what you're doing. The other hobby, the sister hobby, is buying supplies for what you're doing. So she wanted us to use what we had, which is a really sustainable and environmental decision. So we're doing that. So I had this Stampers Anonymous from Tim Holtz. Now I will confess, I have not really learned to embrace all Tim Holtz things because while I see them and know they're very beautiful, I don't really understand how to do all of these kind of very cool effects that he has. So you can see some of them, like this is a grid of plaid, but see how 1, it's cut out in a funky shape, and 2, it's not a pristine and perfect image. It's meant to be that sort of a, what do you call that, steampunk or grunge type of look. He does some really neat things that I think are gorgeous. And so a stamp like this, you might kind of do a repeating stamp with. I'm not very good at that part yet. So we're going with sort of something within my wheelhouse, but I'm trying to step out of a little bit. So we're going to be using Mr. Rabbit, which is here on my Misty as well. And then Mr. Rabbit from my very first purchase from Simon Says Stamp. This is a company and they they distribute a lot of the products from wonderful vendors here. So the die comes with the whole Mr. Rabbit, which is what this one looks like, but then also these little pieces. So his little bow tie and his jacket, we've got pieces for that as well. It's my first time using the die cut, so we're going pretty straight and simple in doing the rabbit like this. Okay, so let me put that aside. Now I decided to do the rabbit in an espresso brown. This is one of my favorite brown colors here. And I wanted it to look on this vanilla creamy cardstock to be kind of antique because I think this is sort of like a vintage look that Tim Holtz is going for here. Now I've seen all kinds of lovely things where people color stuff in. You need to use a different type of ink if you're using your Copics on this. I just wanted to go with a really nice sort of neutral piece, but I wanted to juxtapose it a little bit. So I found some in my stash, some very pretty, almost glittery cardstock. So let me just show you here. The shimmery is a better word that I mean to say. So shimmery. So see, I've got these ready for my cards to go. So I picked out a couple Easter colors here. But the reason I picked this paper is that when I use the embossing folder, which is somewhere near me, we'll find in a second, here it is. When I use the embossing folder, this cardstock is quite thin, and I wanted it to sort of, the paper to look a little weary. Do you know what I mean when I say that? I wanted it to not be pristine because, again, I think we're going for a vintage look here. The shimmer is a little juxtaposed from the vintage, but the beauty of using a thinner piece of paper and a firmer sandwich, I'll show you that when I get making it, is that it can kind of not rip the paper, but sort of expose the inside layer of the paper a little bit. And when you do that, and I'm just looking at my phone, which seems to have gone a little bit crazy to check that nobody's telling me, hey, Sherry, you're not live anymore. And I'm looking at it because I see my mom's name on it. So I just want to see. Mom says she can't get in today, and we'll try on the iPad, on the other iPad. Well, I hope you get here, Mom. And if not, thank you for watching on the replay. Okay, so making this look a little weary, you can see if I hold it up to the camera there, see sort of the white, and maybe it'll show up better on the green. So I'm not trying to make it look totally rustic. I want that shimmer to still be there. I want the Easter pastel-y colors to still be there, but I want it to be sort of harmonic as well too. So trying to be a little ironic. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what I'm doing. So we've got some of these. I'm going to show you how I made those. The cards that showed you how I made those, we're going to cut those out. So let's get to crafting, friends. What do you say? Sound good? All right. And just because my mom can't get on, I want to check that everybody's there. So go ahead and put something in the chat, somebody, to let me know that we're all still live and watching and everything is working okay. Because, you know, even though I am nearing my 100th video, I think tonight is 95 or 96, Fred. Can you put in the chat how many videos I've posted on my new YouTube channel so far? I think this is 90, 95. But anyways, so we're somewhere up and around those numbers. I still don't know how to do everything. But what I do know is how to move this a little bit out of my way and how to move this over. Okay, so Mr. Rabbit is here. I'm going to use my espresso ink, and I'm going to take one of my, oh yeah, we're watching. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm glad you're all there. Let me get one of these vanilla pieces of paper. I'm just going to put this down in the corner. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. So here we go with Mr. Rabbit getting some beautiful espresso ink. All right. Ooh, something else I've recently learned. So YouTube provides us creators with something called YouTube Studio, and they do analytics for us, and they teach us what they want us to be able to do to help them grow, what we can do to help meet our goals. And one of the things, I'm not sure where it is on YouTube, but I know somebody's going to find it right now. There's like a little emoji that you can do that sends hearts fluttering up the screen or thumbs up fluttering up the screens. Those are really, really important apparently to YouTube. So if everybody could look for that button right now and just smash it with a little heart or a thumbs up or whatever it is that's there, that would be very nice. Fred, if you find it, maybe you can put in the chat where that is. Okay, so I've inked up Mr. Rabbit here. I've got my cardstock ready to go. And Mr. Rabbit is on one of the red rubber stamps. So he's quite thick, but I'm just going to get this. All right, I'm just going to get this nicely massaged, if you will. And look how beautiful that turns out. I'm telling you, these Tim Holtz stamps turn out perfect every single time. It is mind-blowing. Okay, let me put my ink aside. Let me take my Mr. Rabbit out. And I'm going to move this aside too. And now we're going to die cut Mr. Rabbit so that we come out with this guy here. Okay. So to do that, I'm just taking the die cut. Now, when Simon Says Stamps does exclusives, they're not available in other shops. Being here in Canada and having things shipped with duty and customs, I get a little intimidated by that. So often when I'm in the States is when I'm going to go ahead and choose to shop there. But it's not a store that you go to. It's an online place. So I'm very grateful to Warren when he lets things get delivered to his house and he lets me pick them up there. Okay, so in this sandwich, I have my platform down the bottom and then this cool thing. This is a silicone mat. Claudia, I'm so glad you're here. Claudia was talking all about the swap and how fun it is to be part of an exchange. Okay, I've got my die cut here. I'm just going to put that over Mr. Rabbit. Now, this is a big die with a large space in the middle. And so I've got these little pieces of tape. This is low-tack artist tape that I've got here. And I'm just going to hold it down a little bit. Now, is this absolutely essential and totally necessary? No, but it gives me just a little bit of a feeling of insurance that makes me feel like, yes, I know what I'm doing and this is going to be fine. Now I got to check my sandwich and see if I've got enough tension to actually be doing the die cut here. And I don't. I think I forgot a piece. Please stand by as I reevaluate this. All right, let's try. So I think my bottom sandwich goes down. My silicone mat goes down. And then Mr. Rabbit. And if I've got this right, this goes in next. Okay. All right. Miss Claudia, did you do anything fun for St. Patrick's Day today? I was telling everybody how I am a big fan of Shamrock Shakes from McDonald's, let me tell you. All right. Once again, I have my sandwich wrong. So please talk amongst yourselves while I figure out which way. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stand up. So let me turn my camera off for a second. No, I won't because my microphone's on my first camera. Ooh, look at me learning that. I knew that. Okay. I'm going to put this down like this. Going to try this again like this. Here we go. Pardon me while I'm way over here. And let's try. And now that's two. It's not strong enough. So looking for a shim, which I've got one over here. A shim is just a piece of cardstock that's going to go in and try and make this a little firmer for me. This may take some getting used to because let's face it, I went and did my embossing after I did my die cutting, and I for sure have got my sandwich messed up. Sandwich is the way that you put your things together. Ooh, Ashley's in the house. Ashley, darling, I cannot believe that Ellie just turned 15 last Thursday. I'm having trouble believing that my grandbaby is 16 and 15. Oh my gosh. But I'm glad you're here, honey. Thank you for being here. Okay, this feels a bit more correct, but not all the way correct. I'm going to put a shim in. Eventually tonight, we will do something as simple as cutting out one Mr. Rabbit. Here we go. Fingers crossed, this is the lucky time that I get it right. I didn't hear a lot of crunching and going, and I don't think I cut it out at all. So you know what? Sometimes you have to quit when you're ahead. I promise you. Mr. Rabbit cuts out like this. It's good. I will do that when I figure it out. What I'm going to try now is to figure out if the embossing folder that I have is the right embossing folder. Oh, you know what? Listen, friends, I'm telling you, you do not have to be really smart. But it's pretty important if you pay attention. Remember I said I changed it because I was doing my embossing folder. I even showed you the nice silicone mat. This is for embossing folders. It's not for die cuts. Let's try this again, Fred. I know how to die cut. I'm obviously just feeling a little bit stressed about doing this as a live. All right, here we go. Eric, you're right. The beauty of a live. Okay, this is a simple die cut, friends. I'm putting Mr. Rabbit in the sandwich. I'm going here. I'm turning this over. I could not figure out why that wasn't working. You should hear the crunches and the cuts. There we go. As they go. And I was all a blither about talking instead of actually doing. So here we go. See, ta-da! I do know how to make a die cut. There we go. We got two Mr. Rabbits to make. I do think in another life I will make a card out of the silhouette somehow that will work with something, but not tonight. Okay, so now that silicone mat I was talking about, let's use that to emboss our pretty paper here. So I've cut this down to a card size, and it is victory is hers. Thank you, Eric. This is, I want to say 4 by 5 1/4. So not the full size of the card, a little panel size that's going in there. If I was really worried about making sure that the impression was perfect and pristine, I would spritz with a little water, but I'm not doing that here for two reasons. One, this is a glimmery, shimmery, see that piece of paper? So I don't want to get that wet because it will show the water droplets. And number two, I do want, because of the vintage look of Mr. Rabbit, to be a little less than perfect in this. So I'm taking this embossing folder, which is kind of florally, closing that down over here. And I'm going to put this on my platform with that nice embossing folder in there. No, I think I've got this wrong again. It feels too tight. Please stand by. I think it goes like this, Judy. Oh my goodness. You know, when I'm in my craft room alone, everything goes perfectly all of the time. It doesn't. But here we go. We're going to try this. We're going here with this. And then we're going to start some assembly. Okay, here we go. It's working, friends. It's working. No, it's not. It's too tight. No, it's not. It's okay. We're having it. Thank you for standing by. That's right. Now, I don't know if you were here for last week's live stream, but I will tell you, Kathy Zilski showing up was like the highlight it could be. And coming up, is it next weekend? So not this weekend, but the weekend after, I am going to be at SCT's Create and Inspire in Markham. It's a beautiful event being put on by Catherine from SCT Magazine and Events. And I get to do the inspirational talk. And I'm going to mention how Kathy helped me through with her videos, a really incredible part of my life. So I can't wait to share that story. Okay, that might have been too tight of a sandwich, but let's see what we've got. Ooh, look at that. All right, Mr. Rabbit, you're getting the most luxurious background I could make for you. I do like the debossed side as well. That's the part that punches in, if you will. But the embossed side, that's where that little bit of rustic look coming on the glimmer is what we're doing. Whew. Well, I don't know for sure, friends, but I'm hoping you're not exhausted yet and that you're still having fun and that we're still creating together. I'm the girl on YouTube that you want to watch when you're ready to try something new or see what an adventure is, or heck, let me try it for you so that you can learn what to and not to do. So I think that's fantastic that you're all still here. I will remind you to go ahead and play with those incredible buttons. Fred, did you find where those buttons are that you could do? Oh, Ashley, Ashley, press the heart buttons and emojis. My YouTube studio is telling me that that's very important. And I think you and your dad had a war one night where you were putting all the hearts in and loving what we were doing. So by all means, please feel free to figure out where those buttons is and tell everybody in the chat. Okay, so we've got some Mr. Rabbits here. We have some backgrounds here. We've got some of these flowers I'm going to bring forward. But first, what we need is a card base. And because I did Mr. Rabbit on you did win. Go ahead and show them how that gets done again. This is on a vanilla cardstock. So I'm using a creamy base card here. I did kind of struggle when I was thinking about an Easter card. Is there only one card here? I feel like there's two. There's only one. To me, Easter screams for pastels, lots of purples, things like that. But Mr. Rabbit here looking so vintage, I didn't feel like that was the look that would honor him best in the way he was. So we're going with some beautiful kind of crafting look and feel. So this is a base card that I'm going to make a top folding card. And I'm going to say that it's at 5 1/4. Is that right? Or 5 1/2? I feel like 5 1/2 and 5 1/2 makes 10, 11. Is that right? I think so. Let me just see. I'm going to just draw a little nook there, if you will. Yes, that's the right one. Okay, so here I go. So on my Score Buddy, one of my favorite workhorses in my studio, I'm going to score the top folding card. And I have it on good authority that when you score it, the kind of inside hill is what you're folding down on. And then I'm just going to use this as a bone folder and flatten out the beauty of this. Now, as we build this, I will tell you that the other very cool thing that I am doing, so I'm giving the inspirational talk to the crafters that are coming to Markham for the Create and Inspire, but I'm also launching with Sherry our next creative card share there. So there's a very fun feature that Catherine has put into the actual event that I'll be doing throughout the weekend. And then as sort of a really exciting coming away from it, we're inviting people to sign up for the next creative card share through Paper Crafters Workshop. And there's going to be a special treat for anybody who happens to be at that as well. Okay, so here we go. We've got the card ready to go here. I've got my Mr. Rabbit ready to have happen. And since we've got two, we'll go ahead and we'll make one green and I'll score another card and we'll make one pink so we can see them come together. Now, remember, I'm making these ones for my traditional card swap, and that is something that I'm doing where I'm taking 14 of these. I get a little stressed when I have to make 14 of the same cards. So what I'm doing is making 14 cards that are nearly the same. So some pink, some green. I don't like the way I did that, so I'm just going to move that one over because it's only paper. I'm going to take another one. I'm going to stop talking for a second and just score it. Ha, perfectly that time. Okay, so I've scored it. I'm folding it over. This is a very nice cardstock. I think it's called Very Vanilla, and it is a nice thick cardstock, which is what I like in the base of the cardstock. Okay, so we've got one green, and we're going to do one in pink. And then what I'd like to show you too is that when I was cutting these papers, they came from a 12 by 12 pack. I kept the little remnants because little tiny things, it's amazing to me the small fun details you can do with little scraps that you have. And part of me is thinking, you know, if you've seen my cards, you know that I like to do something on the inside. So what I'm thinking is on the inside along the bottom, I will go ahead and just mount a nice colored piece of paper. Maybe we'll trim this down a little bit. Maybe I'll look through my punches and see if there's a pretty little punch that I want to do so it's got a little echo in it. So that's something that we can think about doing. Ooh, what I was going to say was, do we like same, or do we like it a little bit different? At Easter time, I feel like different is what works. I feel like when you get some nice plaids going with yellow and purple and green and pink, that's what Easter looks like, a whole basket of colors. So I might try it like this, guys, but we can always bring it back and see what we decide we want to do. In fact, let's make that the first thing that we vote for in our chat tonight when it comes to designing these cards. So the card bases are decided they're going to be vanilla. The matte paper behind it are going to be in the glimmery pink and the green. Suzanne, thank you for saying contrast is always good. So our first option, let's do the first option is matchy-matchy. Okay, so the inside of the card, I will match with the remnant from the card. Matchy-matchy, put matchy-matchy in the chat if that's what you like. And then, Suzanne, I'm going to borrow your word. If you think we should switch it up, go ahead and say contrast. That might be a more complicated word than I needed to say, but matchy-matchy or contrast, that's what we're going for tonight. So tell me in the chat, should we do contrasting and I'll put the green inside? Or should we do the matchy-matchy and we'll put the same color with the same color? Go ahead. I see contrast is coming up. Suzanne, you can vote again if you want to. Matchy-matchy, I think that's a good choice as well, Claude. So we can take a minute to kind of see those as they come in. Matchy-matchy is pretty as well. I do, you know what, I do feel like there's something harmonious about matchy-matchy. So there's the matchy-matchy we can do. I'll wait another second while you guys decide. While you're looking at that, let me just show you how I envision Mr. Rabbit being. So because he's vintage and a little bit artistic, I don't want him to be like straight up and down and very serious here. I think I want him a little off kilter. So we can do, it's almost like he's, now here's a kind of an off kilter. So see how he's got a little bit more personality when you do it that way? Okay, so I think we've decided matchy-matchy. Is that what I'm seeing in the chat? We're going to do that. Mr. Rabbit's going to be there. Let's get these started up and we'll go from there. Now, because I've embossed these, we're going to go matchy-matchy. So starting with the pink one, I'm going to use some liquid adhesive on there. I've got the pink cardstock ready to go, and it's almost the full length. It's a little bit less than the full length. So I'm going to give it a bit of a border. All right, let's go with some double-sided tape here. That double-sided tape is not working the way I needed to. There we go. Double-sided tape. Oh my, this does, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on the inside bottom of my card. Could also go on the top if you like that kind of design as well. Little bit of border all the way around. Little bit of border. There we go. So that we have that ready to go. So that's our pink on the inside, a little bit of surprise and delight. Now we're going to put our card on the front. Now this mat, because it's been embossed, like I said, I'm going to use some liquid glue with. So let's go ahead and get everybody's favorite tool. My Sweet Petunias little glue press. It's a glue gun that doesn't need any introduction because it's just a glue bottle in there and a little trigger that you're making all that beautiful glue come out with. Okay. Works with gravity, means that you don't have to stand there and shake the bottle anymore. It's ready to go. So I've got the pink border ready to go. I like to design on a closed card, so I'm going to do that. This is a little bit smaller than my card base, so I'm giving that just a bit of room all the way around. When we get to the green one, I might trim it a little bit more for a broader background. So there's the nice glue. And you'll see this is cute because it's got some little hearts, some little dots, some little flowers, all things Eastery on there, right? Okay. So we've got that. And we need to get him a pocket watch. I love that idea. I'm curious about how to use the little bow tie die, because I think it'd be fun if his little bow tie kind of stood up and out, but I think you have to stamp the entire picture to get that one little bow tie out, or maybe I could do the bow tie on a colored piece and then add it to it. These are things to think about as we do it. Okay, the embossing is so very pretty, it's true. So got the first base ready to go here. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for our other cards so that we end up with 2 cards, because as I mentioned, my card swap is with 14 people and the date is fast approaching, so I need to get them made and ready. So I'm going to put the green inside here. And then I'm thinking about going a little bit more and trimming this down a little bit so that I have a bit more of the cream color showing. Let's do that. Why not? It's only paper. Reaching for my favorite paper cutter. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. So I currently have it at 4 inches. I'm going to take it down by 1/4 inch all the way around. Not all the way around, on 2 sides is all I need to do. So 1/4 inch there and 1/4 inch here will give me a beautiful larger margin on the card base. Let's see. That's nice. So see the difference between the two? The pink is much larger with a very fine detail. This is smaller with more of the cream color. I think that's going to be something that I like very much. Okay, so we've got the inside down. Let's use our glue press and get the liquid adhesive on here. All right. And a little colored bow tie. I absolutely do think he needs a little colored bow tie, Eric. We're going to do that because you said it. And I'm going to take out the little tiny one and we're going to see what we do. Okay, so here's that background. Okay, so we've got 2 backgrounds, one with a larger margin. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Oh, the other thing that Janet requested. So no new materials we were using, or no new tools. So we're using our existing stash, Easter or spring themed. And also, and this is perfectly, Janet, it has to be snarky. It has to be snarky or sassy. So I have written down on my phone here a few, where did I put them? Sort of snarky. I'm not particularly good. Me as the human talking to you, I can snark it up all day long. But putting it in a card, especially an Easter card, which is sort of like my religion's big fanfare event, I have a little trouble with. But I'm wondering, Fred, how do you feel about your typing skills tonight? Do you think you can type this out, or should I ask Tyra if she's still listening? Maybe if Tyra will do it. What do you think, Fred? I'm looking over at him to see if he feels like typing. Okay, Fred. So I'm thinking about hand lettering or borrowing Sydney's Cricut and having the Cricut letter the inside of the card for me. So because it's Mr. Rabbit, the topic, Fred, you ready for this? Hippity, hoppity, whatever. Ooh, thanks, Suzanne. Anybody who types that in, extra points for you. Hippity, comma, hoppity, comma, whatever, exclamation point. So that's what I'm thinking might go in the inside to make this a sassy or snarky Easter card. Hippity, hoppity, whatever. You got it, Tyra. 10 points for you. The next one is, if you see a bunny laying little brown eggs, comma, don't eat them, comma, it's not chocolate. Okay, I'll lay that on you again, Tyra. I bet you got it already, but let me just do it. If you see a bunny laying little brown eggs, comma, don't eat them, comma, it's not chocolate. So these are my rabbit themed ideas. Okay, so Tyra's got that there. Fred, go ahead and put that up on the screen so we can see that. Now, these ones are not bunny related, but I liked them from a funny point of view anyway. So this one's pretty long, Tyra. I'm going to go slow on this one. A good friend is someone who thinks you are a good egg, comma, even though you're slightly cracked. Okay, let me lay that on you again. A good friend is someone who thinks you're a good egg, comma, even though you're slightly cracked. You can probably see them on my phone right here as well. All right, so I don't know, Tyra, if that one's too long. Oh, look at how amazing Tyra is. You've got that. All right, so the 3 that we have so far, and then I'm going to give you the last one, which is the one that I don't think I could do no matter what. So hippity hoppity, whatever. Then if you see a bunny laying little brown eggs, don't eat them. It's not chocolate. And then a good friend is someone who thinks you're a good egg, even though you're slightly cracked. Here's the last one. Tyra, I bet you can write this down real quick in the chat there. Go suck an egg. I don't think I can do that one, but Eric gave it to me and it made me giggle. So I'm sharing it with you guys tonight. Go suck an egg is the 4th one that we have. So friends, you're going to have to tell me. Thank you, Suzanne. I love that. Those are great. And here's the last one here. Go suck an egg. Ashley, you're laughing. Lisa, Suzanne, thank you. Lisa, you are laughing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ashley, I'll send you one. It can say go suck an egg. No, I don't think I could do it, friends. I don't think I could. So let's see. So hippity hoppity, whatever. That's our first choice. You guys vote for these and you'll have to stay tuned to my Instagram to see what I actually use. If you see a bunny laying little brown eggs, don't eat them. It's not chocolate. A good friend is someone who thinks you're a good egg, even though you're slightly cracked. And then the all favorites, all knowing, where did that one go? Go suck an egg. Right. Here's Eric's vote. Go suck an egg. I love it. It is so Eric. That's true. Ashley, that's just so much fun. I love it, you guys. I love it. Okay. So the first one, I like the first one too, because it's Mr. Rabbit, right? So the hippity hoppity, where have we got that? Hippity hoppity, whatever, I think is my favorite because he even looks a little bit like, he could be sort of that cool rabbit dude that might be in a Disney movie or something that he's like, yeah, whatever. But hippity hoppity is his thing. Okay. So friends, those are the choices. Feel free to tell me whichever one you like. I'm happy to hear them. If you have an idea for a sassy or snarky spring type comment, I will happily hear what that is. You can go ahead and put that in the chat, Lisa. I love that you like, which one's the third one? A good friend? A good friend is someone who thinks you're a good egg, even though you're slightly cracked. I would say I'm slightly cracked for sure. I like that Lori's saying number 1 as well. Go ahead, guys. Keep voting for that. Now, what I'm going to do with Mr. Rabbit inside here is I'm going to lift him up with some foam tape, and we're going to put him on different angles here. But let me show you how I think I see the, Eric did challenge me here, and I see Peter saying something too, the bow tie, so you can see the color underneath. Okay. All right, friends, you know what we're going to try? We're going to try... I really believe, so I'm taking one of these guys. I really believe that if I were to just cut out, a bow tie, it's not going to look like a bow tie. But if I cut out this bow tie, which seems a bit weird to me because I feel like I'm wasting the rest of Mr. Bunny. But if I cut out this bow tie and then colored it, I could put it on here with a little foam tape and pop it up. I'm going to try, but that means, and I'm really struggling with this, I got to cut this guy to fit into my little sidekick, but we're going to do it. It's only paper. I am not hurting any rabbits in the making of this card. Okay, you guys want to hear a very small world story Fred and I discovered just the other day? Can't believe it. So I'll tell you that while I'm cutting up Mr. Bunny here. So we have a neighbor next door who has a tenant in the basement who is lovely. Her name is Lisa, and we love her so very much. She's got 2 cute little puppies named Pippa and Tate that are friends of Luigi's. I can't believe I just got Mr. Bunny. Okay. And as friends of Luigi, they bark at him and they don't bark at him. It's great. So, all right, here we go. Imagine my surprise when Lisa sends me a text one day and says, I can't believe you make cards. Now, I've never talked to her about that with the dogs in the backyard. I've never mentioned it to her. It just hasn't come up. She's relatively new in our neighborhood. And when you're standing there with the dogs, you don't necessarily think of what you do. So we haven't mentioned it, but she says, I can't believe you make cards. and then sends me a picture in the text of this beautiful card with a bicycle on it that is absolutely amazing and gorgeous that she made. And she says to me, "Are you creating Sherry?" My next door neighbor is a card maker and was making cards with her mom long before we ever met, found me on YouTube and has been watching since I first started posting videos. Lisa, if you're watching tonight, I hope you'll say hello in the chat. We love Pippa and Tate. They are cute little neighbors. And I just can't believe the world is that small. Seriously. Okay. So I have taped down the little itty bitty die. I'm going to put it through my tiny little sidekick here. And let's see if I can redeem myself and just do the little die. Oh, my soul. Look, look, look. This is the little bow tie. Oh, it's cute. Okay. All right. So we've just cut the bow tie out. Let's not lose the bow tie die. And I'm going to go ahead and move these things aside. Keep my bow tie there for the next one. Move this guy. Try and move this guy. Pardon me for a moment while I reach for some Copics. Green. Yeah, we're going to try green. It's a bright green. I'm going to use this as a little piece of background here. Let's just check this green. I don't think that's the right green. Ooh, I feel like this is the right green. Let's see. Oh, yes, much better. Okay, so this is Copic Green 02 called Spectrum Green. Okay, that's what that one is. And I'm just going to go and lightly color in on the bow tie some green. Oh, that's cute. A little bit up and down here. Turn it over. Get that over here a little bit. There are some incredible colorers out there in the YouTube universe of card making, and I aspire to learn lots from them. Just going to add a little more green, a little more green. And you know what I think? Copics are beautiful when they're layered up. So I'm going to go in with this lighter green in the center and down the side here for a little, I don't know if it's actually shading, but we're going to call it shading, friends. That's what we're going to call it. Okay, so we've got, actually that green looks good. I'm going to go in with a little bit more over here. It's kind of a hyper yellow green. Okay. All right. We have a little green bow tie. Woo! Oh, green for St. Patrick's Day. Yes, you got it, Suzanne. You got it. Okay. So I'm going to take this guy here. I'm going to bring our little bow tie in green over. And I don't, did he go this? No, he goes this way. Because it's kind of like that. Oh, gosh. Look at that. Hang on. I'm going to show you. And we're going to pop that up. All right. Let's get some little dots. They're somewhere on my desk. Can anybody see? There they are. Found them. Little container of my foam adhesive. And we're going to go ahead and put one on each side. So can you believe my next door neighbor, the tenant who just moved in recently, is a card maker and follows me on YouTube? I was like, this is very neat. Very neat indeed. It's a small world. Okay, so I'm going to put this little green bow tie on Mr. Rabbit. And I think you guys named Mr. Rabbit, but I'm not sure that I caught Mr. Rabbit's name. So there he is. He's got a little bow tie. And let me show you it this way. Can you see? So it's standing up. Wait, let me try and get you a good angle. So the foam dots are in there. So it's actually got some dimension to it as we do that. All right. And then next, let's see what we've got going on here. We've got our green, we've got our pink, and I think we'll put him going this way on the green, or should we have put him on the pink? Green bow tie on the pink, which would maybe then mean we should do a pink bow tie for the other one to put on the green. I'm just saying. I don't know if I have it in me to do that tonight, but it could happen. So green on pink, but I think matchy-matchy won earlier this evening, so I'm going to go with matchy-matchy. Remember, I have 14 of these to make, so I can change up little things as I'm making them. I am not making all 14 tonight with you, even though that might be fun. Okay, matchy, here we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use some double-sided foam on Mr. Rabbit because I want him to stand up well on the embossed part of this folder. So let me just get some nice pieces of foam adhesive off my roll here. Hey, Ashley, did you figure out the whatever those things that you won with your dad was? The oh, by the way, crafting, don't wear tassels. What are those things called? The emojis, I guess they're called. It's not the same as the like and subscribe buttons. It's different from that, but they are fun to do when you love something in the YouTube. So feel free, friends. I'm just getting this one in half because this ear is a little bit thinner. Now, as I get making these for my card swap that I'm going to with the 14 friends, I may start playing a little bit more with each of Mr. Bunny's, but I wanted to start kind of the creative juices flowing tonight and decide how to do this. It always is helpful when you guys in my community are coming up with design ideas that help me do some wonderful things. The emote button bar is on the right side of the screen. All right, I believe you. If everybody finds the emote button bar, and what are they? They're hearts. What else is there, Ashley? Thumbs up, I think I saw. YouTube Studio is really amazing. They truly want creators to succeed, which is pretty exciting. Okay, so Mr. Rabbit is going to go here. And he is standing up, so you can see he's lifted off this as well. Penguin blue waving. Oh, look at Claudia's got one going on there too. There's all kinds of really neat ones that are out there. I am learning with you guys tonight. Okay, so there's first Mr. Bunny. Now, what do you think Tim Holtz, the designer who made this bunny, would think about this nice little daisy in Mr. Rabbit's hair? Look at this, because Janet made me say I would use stuff that I have. I feel like that is so Easter and so on pattern. So that's a little idea. If you guys like that, let me know in the chat. I have these. There's 3 colors of these little ones as well. Now they have a little pearl in the center. But what I was thinking was maybe Mr. Rabbit has a couple of these down here. Maybe maybe 2 is good. Hang on. Maybe there's a little bit of Mr. Rabbit with some flowers down on the bottom here. A flower in by his ear over here. I'm going to wait for the chat to catch up with me and tell me if you guys think that he is fabulous. I'm going to show you what Ashley found me. These are the beautiful emojis along the side that you can go ahead and do. Apparently YouTube likes that, so feel free. What do we think of the flowers? Okay, is this... Oh, did we name the Mr. Rabbit something that now we're changing? We like it? Oh, look at this. This is good. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, so I feel like this is a good choice, and I feel like these little flowers down here, they might be extra. That could be some editing that I could do. Here, let me show you without them on. He looks pretty distinguished with just the flower. Let me kind of put them back on here, though. It's kind of fun, right? Kind of fun. I did play with it a little bit yesterday, wondering if I could maybe just put a flower down here or a flower up here and stuff. But I really feel like by his ear over here, it just works, right? Now, I'm not sure what the exact right adhesive would be to use for this because I'm out of Zots. Zots are real... Oh, a flower boutonniere. Hang on, Suzanne, you might be onto something. Let me try. Oh, wait, stop the presses. The little flower boutonniere on his lapel right there. I think we've got something. A sticky dot. Ashley, yes, I think you're totally right with the sticky dots. Not the foam dots, but the sticky dots, which are somewhere in my craft room. I am sure that I can't find right at this exact moment. But that's okay. It will be something I find and can do. Pink. Okay, do the pink. Here we go. Pink lapel. Oh, friends, we might be really onto something here. The pink lapel. How's that? I'm just going to show you on the other side so you can see it over there too. Okay, the boutonniere. So we have some votes for this. I think it's this size. Okay, the boutonniere. Here we go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do, what am I going to do, friends? I'm going to do the red tape. That's the strongest tape I use. I don't think tape's the exact right thing for me to be using tonight, but I am live. And Janet told me to use what I have. So this is what we're going to use tonight. I will modify the designs as I make the rest of the 14 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on his little lapel. This is the red tape. I'm going to just press that down a bit. And I'm going to reach for tweezers. Ooh, normally I know a bit more about what I'm doing and have all my tools out, but this is fun, you guys. You are making this with me tonight. Thank you for crafting with me. And I will say that you are laying down wonderful neural pathways in your brain by doing this tonight. Okay, look at this creativity coming to reality right here, right now. Just going to hold that there for a second. I'm going to take some of these and then press down on the petals a little bit over here, but I want it standing up still a bit over here. I don't want it totally flat. Look what we did. Look what we did, you guys. Oh, this is so cute. We got a boutonniere right here on his lapel. We've got a beautiful, so we've got some dimensions. See how it's standing up there? My camera's having a little trouble with that. Little bow tie that we colored in, embossing on the back, some die cutting that I eventually remembered how to do. And I think we are, oh, look at that. Look at that. He's so amazing. He's so sweet. He's adorable. I love it. Claude, you're right. This was a fabulous idea with the boutonniere. Let me scroll back here for a second and find some of Tyra's amazing typing that she did for us right here. I think this is going to say hippity hoppity whatever. And I think it's going to be the bomb diggity, my friends. Oh my gosh. Woo! Okay, let me come back to, hang on one second. I'm going to flip around which cameras we're doing what with so that we're here, friends. Let me show you. So we have designed this absolutely gorgeous Tim Holtz Mr. Rabbit on this embossed folder. I did not use a single new thing in my studio tonight. These are all things that I had with me. And we did a little matchy-matchy on the bottom. So we've got that. Sydney, I'm going to call you and ask to borrow your Cricut so we can put the message inside. I think we'll put it right down in here that says hippity hoppity whatever. And my friends, there you go. We have created a beautiful, somewhat snarky, somewhat distinguished, all the irony and juxtapositions we could possibly put into a card tonight, we have done. And I am so, so excited that you have all created this with me, my friends. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you a couple quick things that I really want everybody to know and understand. First, this is huge. 250. I celebrate each one of you. I've taken it on as a sort of personal mission to get to know everybody that I possibly can and build this community around. So thank you for that. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and say hi to my mom, because when she does finally get to see this, she'll be so happy we all said hi to my mom. I encourage you to keep an eye out for the Paper Crafters Workshop on their website, because the very cool thing that we are launching, and I'm telling you, I am so excited for this. The Creative Card Share has been community building. It has been so much fun. And when you are this ecstatic about getting happy mail, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, it is so, so much fun. So we'd love to have you as part of that. Thank you for creating Mr. Rabbit with me tonight. I'm glad I've got this design now. I only have 13 more of these to do for my card swap. If you're going to be part of the Creative Card Share, don't worry. You can shop your stash, which means you can use cards you already have, or you can make cards. You're only doing 4 of them, but you're getting 4 back in return from 2 different partners. So you get to meet tons of people, like-minded values, because let's face it, friends, when you give yourself permission to create, you're actually taking really good care of yourself. And I would love to just say, you have that permission and it's good for you. So don't feel any of those guilty pleasures that some people might feel about hobbies. Feel like you are getting good mileage out of your gym membership. That's what you should feel. All right, friends, that's it for me tonight. Thank you for creating with me. Thanks for coming up. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment on these videos. We'll see you Thursday with my upload this week. Thanks, friends.